Hi, it's Beate. Welcome to our Profit Share Challenge on day number 2. Will you just give me sort of a quick shout out to make sure that I know that you are live on this stream of Profit Share Challenge day 2? And I'm going to just look over here if it's going live now or not, because I am now going on a different provider. So I'm running this through Zoom now because, as you may remember in my previous video, I was trying to share with you that I had it all set up and it was all fun and games. And then I realized that I could not stream because Facebook had set up a different API, and suddenly nothing was working. So if you are live, please go ahead and tell me that you are, and just give me a shout out who is live on this stream, and then I am going to get started with today's challenge. So yesterday we were talking about the first day challenge, and it was about where do you want to be and how you are sort of seeing your business evolve within the next 3 years. And then I saw that quite a few of you were not very specific, so we talked a little bit about that. So if you haven't caught up on that, please go ahead and go back to day 1 and do this, because there's a logic on how I am setting up the sort of these questions and how we're leading to then our training on Monday, where we are then putting it all together. So today I want you to go over the second challenge. And so again, in the accountability guide that I have created that is just for this, it's available at growtharchitecture.biz. So you just go there, you put in your email so that I know where to send it, and then you're downloading it. So every day we have these questions, so you can write it in here and then write the question down, do your fact finding, go deep, and then you are doing your mentoring sessions when we come back in 7 hours at 4 o'clock, and you write that down. And the reason I call it an accountability guide is because if you're here and if you are actually, working on this, why would you not, want a tangible takeaway of some shape or form? So I'm really big about writing things down, not necessarily typing it in the computer, but writing it down, because it just does something psychological with the brain. So today's challenge is, what stands in your way of achieving what you told me yesterday that you want to achieve? So the first question is, what do you want? So you said, I want to run a successful business. Then I said, that's not specific enough. You need to be a lot more specific than that. Then today I ask you, so if you want to be that $100, $200, $300, $400,000 business, or that $1.2 million business we spoke about yesterday, then what does that actually mean for you? Like, what do you have to do? What is it that is in the way for you to getting there? And I'm going to give you some examples on this, okay? So number one, we look at skill sets. So for example, there could be you say, I want to be running this like the CEO of a company does and want to hire people. So my question then to you would be, do you have the skill set that it takes to be a great leader? Do you know how to lead other people? Do you even know how to hire people, what the criteria are to hire these people? So then that would be a skill set that you identify. That's called leadership attribute development. So you recognize that along the way, you're going to have to figure out how to do that. Because when you hire people and their payroll, there's HR, there are all kinds of things that go into it. So the question is that a skill set that you have? And it's not good or bad. I'm not saying, you better be learning this, but this is really what the business owner does. The business owner recognizes that when they are building up a business, that in order to get to that goal, remember we set the goal and I said we're going to reverse engineer it. Now you need to figure out what are the things that you need along the way. So number one, you look deep into your skill set. Number two is, do you have the financial resources? Is there money? Is there a loan? Do you have to get venture capital funding? So what are all the elements that go into this aspect of you understanding how this works? How do you get the how do you get the money? How do you get the funding? And what is the funding you need? So you may need some, in the discovery session here, where we talk about what's missing or what's in your way to getting your goal. You may need some accounting and finance feedback, and find a place where that's sort of done. Then we talk about, do you have the knowledge that it takes to create a business of that size that you want to create? And what are all the elements that go into it? And again, there's sales, there's marketing, there's accounting, there's copywriting, there is a content strategy, a social media strategy, a video strategy. So what are all these elements? Like, what's in your way to getting to that goal? What are the elements that you're missing that need to go in there? And this is really a skill set uncovery portion of this challenge. And again, being very clear as to, if I want to get to being a $10 million business, I'm going to need to be doing a lot of soul searching and skill set development to run a $10 million company. Because let me tell you, there's a difference between running a $50,000 solopreneur business and a $10 million company that has, 15 employees. So I want you to think about this, not just about today, sort of, but following the plan. Then another aspect is, what is your network? Do you have to develop your network and really expand on giving people that part of the equation? Is like, how do you make these connections? How do you build these business relationships? And I was at a meeting yesterday where we spoke about something like this. And then, the woman I was partnered up with, she had an excellent networking strategy, but she wanted to get to a different level client. Now, if you want to go to a different level client, these clients are in a different set of circumstances, right? So you're not going to find them where you are here today. You're going to have to build a different networking strategy on where people that are helping you to get to a $10 million business, a $1 million business, where they're going to be. And there's something else I heard yesterday. It was really interesting. It was at an event at the Entrepreneur Organization, EO, and he said, that there really are only 3% of businesses that ever make it above $1 million. And 97% of all small businesses in the United States stay below $1 million. So it just shows you that, to push through that threshold is a really big deal. And the only way you're going to get through that threshold is by developing the skill set that it needs to get there. And I'm saying this for many different reasons. So number one, because you are in the business of selling your services. So you have to provide this service or this idea to other businesses that are, or people who are also wanting to break through certain thresholds in their lives or in their businesses. So it is imperative for you that you are getting very clear about, if you are wanting to push through that and you need more, then they need to push through and need more. And you see how that gives you the argument, the verbiage, the communication skill to say, when I broke through my $1 million, these are the things that I had to do. And the reason I offer my services to you is because it's an aspect of me supporting you to break through your $1 million goal, or whatever that goal might be. So it's connected because it's an energetic, it's an energetic loop. It's an energetic infinity sign. And, I'm going to say something else here. So, I'm looking at this accountability guide download and who downloads it, and sort of what happens in the behavior of people that download it. And inevitably, there are people that have come and they have downloaded and then they immediately unsubscribed. And I'm thinking to myself, now imagine that on an energetic level. If you are participating in something, and you already, as you're participating, as you're already going in, you're already limiting yourself or your experience by saying, I only want this. there's two things that happen. Number one, you cannot expect to find clients that will give you time and date and money, because if you are acting that way, do you really think you're going to be attracting anybody that's going to bestow something on you that you're not going to give to other people? So, I'm really big in understanding the energetic connection between things. And I want you to be cognizant of that, as salespeople, we appreciate a good sales pitch. And when we are not good salespeople and we say, well, we only want to take, but we're not willing to give anything, or we're not even willing to try anything out, guess what's going to happen to you? The same thing's going to happen to you. So it doesn't mean that you cannot make decisions along the way to say, this is for me and this is not for me. But please don't start out and just shut yourself off everything. So I commend you for being here and playing along, because this is the whole point of this, is to really poke and probe you a little bit and make you get out of that comfort zone and say, what do I have to do differently this time to really get myself to a different level? Because everything you've done so far is not working, because otherwise you wouldn't be here and saying to me that I want to grow to this certain level. So what you've done got you up to here. So today's question is, if what you have got you up to here, now what is that next level skill set that you really need to figure out to help you break through that next element? So so today's question is, what stands in your way of getting to what you told me in yesterday's challenge in day number 1, what it is that you want your business to be in 3 years. You are asked to please identify and do a pretty deep dive into what am I missing, and we talked about skill set, knowledge, strategy development, direction, network connections, and that's what the challenge is for you today. So again, growtharchitecture.biz is where the accountability guide is that we're going to continue to go forward with over the next couple of days. I am going to be back live at 4:00, so it's exactly in 7 hours, and I'm going to check on your status. I encourage you to do this rather sooner than later. I think we had about so far 15 people that have actually participated in making the comments. I'm going to upload the question now, and then you're going to comment in that question comments with your answer. And that's what I'm going to be using to go over when I come back for the live mentoring. If you participate, you put your bid in, I will actually mentor you and discuss what you have said. So this is the benefit of participating. This is a closed group, so there's complete privacy. You're all bound by a confidentiality agreement. What happens in this group is happening in this group. It's not to be shared with anybody without permission of the person that is disclosing the information. That is just a given. That's how we work in any kind of a forum or mastermind or in any one of these groups. I want you to take this really seriously, because I'm taking it very seriously too. All right, so let me just check if there's anything on, and I have to unfortunately I have to lean over to see what's going on, because I cannot see it on this screen if there's been any notifications or anything I need to know, but I'm not seeing anything. So I appreciate you being here. I see you again in a couple of hours. Thank you very much. And the challenge is on. Goodbye.